The engagement party at Belmont Country Club had 200 guests and one person nobody wanted there. Me. Jordan. Lauren grabbed my arm, pulling me toward a distinguished couple. Meet Bradley's parents. Robert and Patricia Whitmore. Robert Whitmore looked exactly like a manufacturing CEO should. Silver hair, firm handshake, expensive suit. Patricia wore pearls and a practiced smile. Lovely to meet you, Patricia said. What do you do, dear? Before I could answer, Lauren jumped in. Jordan makes phone apps. Little games and things. She works from home. How creative, Patricia said, her interest evaporating instantly. Not games, I said quietly. Enterprise software. Lauren laughed. She means organizational apps. Like fancy to-do lists. Very niche market. Bradley, my sister's fiancé, appeared with champagne. Everyone thinks they'll be the next Instagram with an app. I don't make consumer apps. I tried again. Jordan's been doing her startup thing for 6 years, Lauren said, using that tone she reserved for explaining embarrassing relatives. Still at it. Very persistent. 6 years. Robert's eyebrows raised. That's quite a commitment. What's the company called? Synergius, I said, watching his face carefully. Nothing. No recognition. Cute name, Patricia said. What does it do? Integrated business management, I said. Supply chain optimization, inventory control, financial systems, HR management. Cloud-based platform for enterprises. Robert tilted his head. That's not phone apps. That's serious infrastructure software. Jordan likes to make it sound impressive, Lauren said. But really it's just basic organizational tools. Not like actual enterprise systems like SAP or Oracle. We actually compete with SAP and Oracle, I said. More laughter from Lauren. Jordan, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. How many clients do you have? Robert asked, his CEO instincts engaging. About 8,000 corporate clients, I said. Across 42 countries. The group went silent. 8,000. Bradley repeated. That's. Jordan, come on. She exaggerates, Lauren said quickly. It's probably 8 clients, maybe 80 if you count really small ones. 8,000, I repeated calmly. Our largest client is a manufacturing conglomerate. 17 facilities. 600,000 annual contract. Robert's face changed. Something clicked. What did you say your company was called? Synergios Technologies. He pulled out his phone, fingers moving quickly. His face went pale. Excuse me, Robert said to the group. I need to check something on my laptop. Bradley, come with me. They walked away quickly. Lauren watched them go, confused. What was that about? She asked. I don't know, I lied. 10 minutes later, Bradley returned alone. He looked at me differently now. Jordan, my father wants to speak with you. In the library. Build up. The country club library was wood-paneled and quiet. Robert sat at a desk, laptop open, face unreadable. Close the door, he said. I did. I need you to tell me something truthfully, Robert said. Are you Jordan Chin? Founder and CEO of Synergios Technologies. Yes. He turned the laptop toward me. On screen was our company website. My photo. My bio. Forbes article about our Series D funding. $2.1 billion valuation. My company, Robert said slowly, Whitmore Industries uses your software. I know. You knew. Yes. You've been a client for 3 years. Enterprise tier subscription. Implementation for 17 manufacturing facilities across the Northeast. Robert stared at me. 3 years. I've been signing checks to your company for 3 years and I had no idea you were the founder. Your contracts are with Synergios Technologies. My sales team handles client relationships. You wouldn't necessarily know the CEO personally. But you knew, Robert said. You knew my company runs on your software. That we pay you $600,000 annually. You stood in that ballroom and let your sister call it phone games. Yes. Why? Because she's been calling it phone games for 6 years, I said. I stopped correcting her years ago. Robert leaned back in his chair. Do you know what would happen if Whitmore Industries lost access to Synergios? Yes. Your operations would halt within hours. Inventory management would fail. Supply chain logistics would collapse. Financial reporting would be impossible. You'd lose approximately $3 to $5 million per day. So you have tremendous leverage over my family's business, Robert said. Technically yes, I agreed. But I don't operate that way. Business and personal stay separate. Even when personal involves your sister humiliating you? Even then. Robert nodded slowly. Forbes says your company did $380 million in revenue last year. Correct. And you're planning an IPO next year. Projected valuation around $4 billion. That's the current projection, yes. Your personal stake? 38%. Robert did the mental math. You're going to be worth over $1 billion. On paper. He closed his laptop. Why didn't you say something? Out there when Lauren was mocking you. What would I have said? I asked. That wouldn't have sounded like bragging or competing with her engagement announcement? Fair point, Robert admitted. But surely your parents know? My parents know I run a software company. They think it's a small startup that hasn't succeeded yet. Lauren reinforces that narrative at every family gathering. She does it deliberately? Yes, I said simply. She's brilliant. Partner track at Morrison and Fisher. But she's always been competitive. My success threatens hers, so she minimizes it. Robert was quiet for a long moment. I need to think about this. About what? About whether my son should marry someone who deliberately sabotages her own sister. Revelation. Back in the ballroom, Lauren found me immediately. What did Robert want? To discuss business, I said. What business? Jordan, what's going on? Bradley appeared, pulling Lauren aside. They had a whispered conversation. Lauren's face went from confused to pale. She walked over slowly. Bradley says Robert told him something. About your company. About it being successful. It is successful, I said. How successful? Lauren's voice was shaking. $2.1 billion valuation. 327 employees. 8,000 corporate clients. $380 million in revenue last year. Lauren sat down heavily. That's not possible. It is actually. You just never asked. I asked. I asked what you did. You asked, then answered for me before I could respond, I corrected. Phone games. Organizational apps. Fancy to-do lists. You decided what my work was and never let me explain otherwise. Mom appeared, sensing drama. What's happening? Lauren, why do you look upset on your engagement night? Ask Jordan, Lauren said. Mom looked at me. Jordan, what did you do? I didn't do anything, I said. Lauren told Bradley's parents I make phone games. Robert Whitmore happens to be the CEO of Whitmore Industries, which uses the enterprise software I built. He recognized the company name and looked it up. Enterprise software? Mom repeated. Jordan, what are you talking about? Synergies, I said. The company I started 6 years ago. The one you all thought was a failed startup. It's worth $2.1 billion. We're planning an IPO next year. Mom looked like I'd slapped her. Billion? Jordan, that's not, you can't just. Forbes, TechCrunch, Wall Street Journal, I said. Multiple articles. Public information. You never looked because you believed Lauren's version instead of asking me directly. Dad joined the group. What's all this noise about? Jordan's apparently a billionaire, Lauren said bitterly. Or will be. And she just let us all think she was failing for 6 years. I never let you think anything, I said. You decided I was failing because I worked from home and dressed casually. Every time I tried to explain my company, Lauren interrupted with comments about phone games. Eventually I stopped trying. This is ridiculous, Dad said. If you'd built something that's successful, we'd know about it. I pulled out my phone, opened Google, typed my name. Hundreds of articles appeared. I handed him the phone. He scrolled silently. His face went through several expressions: disbelief, shock, confusion, something like shame. Why didn't you tell us? He whispered. I did. You didn't listen. Robert appeared, Bradley beside him. Lauren, I need to speak with you and your parents. Privately. They walked away. I stayed in the ballroom, suddenly alone. 20 minutes later, Lauren returned. Mascara streaked. Eyes red. Robert wants to postpone the engagement, she said flatly. He says he needs time to reconsider. He told Bradley I'm manipulative and jealous. That I deliberately sabotaged you to make myself look better. Did you? I asked. Lauren's silence was her answer. He said his company can't operate without your software, Lauren continued. That you have more power over his family's livelihood than I'll ever have as a lawyer. He doesn't want Bradley marrying someone who'd treat her own sister that way. I'm sorry, I said and meant it. No, you're not, Lauren said. You got exactly what you wanted. You ruined my engagement. I didn't ruin anything, I said. I just stopped hiding. Resolution. I left the party early. My phone started ringing at midnight. Mom, you need to fix this. Call Robert. Tell him you exaggerated. Tell him it was a misunderstanding. I didn't call back. Dad, your sister's engagement is falling apart because of your need to compete. This is incredibly selfish. I blocked the number. Lauren, please. I'm begging you. Talk to Robert. Tell him I didn't know. Tell him it was all a misunderstanding. I let it go to voicemail. The next morning, Robert Whitmore's office called. His assistant scheduled a video meeting for that afternoon. Miss Chen, Robert said formally when the call connected. I want to discuss two things. First, I apologize for my son's behavior at the party. Second, I'd like to expand Whitmore Industries' contract with Synergius. We're acquiring 2 facilities in the Midwest. I'll have my team send over the contract modifications, I said. Thank you. He paused. About the wedding situation. That's between you and your family, I said. Completely separate from our business relationship. I appreciate that, Robert said. But I want you to know, I'm reconsidering the engagement because of what I observed about Lauren's character. Not because of your business success. Understood. She called me 8 times last night, Robert continued, asking me to terminate our contract with you. To put you in your place. My stomach dropped. I see. I told her that was extortion and manipulation, Robert said. That confirmed my concerns. The engagement is officially ended. 2 months passed. Lauren didn't make partner track. Apparently the firm had concerns about her professional judgment. Mom and Dad stopped calling after I didn't respond to the first 50 messages. My IPO happened in March. Opening day valuation, $3.8 billion. My shares were worth $1.4 billion. Whitmore Industries expanded their contract again. Annual payment now, $840,000. Last week Lauren sent an email. Not asking for anything. Just apologizing. Acknowledging 6 years of deliberate sabotage. Admitting she'd been jealous and cruel. I read it twice. Then I archived it. Maybe someday I'll be ready to forgive. Maybe someday we'll rebuild some version of sisterhood. But not today. Today I'm too busy running my $4 billion company. The one she called Phone Games. I left the party early. My phone started ringing at midnight. Mom, you need to fix this. Call Robert. Tell him you exaggerated. Tell him it was a misunderstanding. I didn't call back. Dad, your sister's engagement is falling apart because of your need to compete. This is incredibly selfish. I blocked the number. Lauren, please. I'm begging you. Talk to Robert. Tell him I didn't know. Tell him it was all a misunderstanding. I let it go to voicemail. The next morning Robert Whitmore's office called. His assistant scheduled a video meeting for that afternoon. Miss Chen, Robert said formally when the call connected. I want to discuss two things. First, I apologize for my son's behavior at the party. Second, I'd like to expand Whitmore Industries' contract with Synergius. We're acquiring 2 facilities in the Midwest. I'll have my team send over the contract modifications, I said. Thank you. He paused. About the wedding situation. That's between you and your family, I said. Completely separate from our business relationship. I appreciate that, Robert said. But I want you to know, I'm reconsidering the engagement because of what I observed about Lauren's character. Not because of your business success. Understood. She called me 8 times last night, Robert continued, asking me to terminate our contract with you. To put you in your place. My stomach dropped. I see. I told her that was extortion and manipulation, Robert said. That confirmed my concerns. The engagement is officially ended. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Within a week, Lauren had moved back in with our parents. Mom called it temporary, but I knew better. The apartment she'd been sharing with Bradley was his, not theirs. Morrison and Fisher announced their partner decisions 2 weeks later. Lauren wasn't on the list. When I asked a mutual contact why, they said the firm had received an anonymous complaint about her undermining colleagues to advance her own reputation. The firm investigated and found a pattern. Turned out I wasn't the only person Lauren had sabotaged. Mom left a voicemail. "Are you happy now? Your sister lost everything. Her engagement, her partnership, her apartment. She's devastated. This is your fault." I saved the voicemail. Sometimes you need evidence of how twisted people's logic can become. Dad sent an email with the subject line, "Family Loyalty." I deleted it without reading. My company meanwhile thrived. We signed 19 new enterprise clients in Q2. Revenue projections jumped to $520 million for the year. Tech publications started calling me for quotes about the future of enterprise software. 3 months after the engagement party, I received a certified letter from Lauren. Not an email. Not a text. A physical letter handwritten on expensive stationery. "Dear Jordan, I'm writing this by hand because I want you to know I spent time on it. That I didn't just type something quick and hit send. You were right about everything. I did sabotage you deliberately. For 6 years I minimized your work, interrupted your explanations and made sure our family saw you as unsuccessful. I did it because I was jealous. Because you were always the smart one, the innovative one, the one who could build things from nothing. I worked 80-hour weeks to make Partner Track. You worked from home in jeans and built a billion-dollar company. I couldn't handle that. So I tried to make your success invisible. Robert was right to end our engagement. Bradley was right to agree with him. I was manipulative. I am jealous. These are character flaws I need to address. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm just telling you that I finally understand what I did and I'm sorry. I hope your IPO is successful. I hope you build everything you dreamed of. You earned it despite me, not because of me. Lauren." I read the letter 3 times. Filed it in my desk drawer. Didn't respond. My IPO happened in March. Opening day valuation, $3.8 billion. My shares were worth $1.4 billion. The Wall Street Journal ran a front-page story. Jordan Chen's Synergis disrupts enterprise software market. The article mentioned that I'd started the company with $15,000 in savings, working from a studio apartment with no family support or connections. Just an idea and determination. Whitmore Industries expanded their contract again. Annual payment, $840,000. Robert sent a personal note with the signed contract. "Your software saved our company millions. Thank you for keeping business and personal separate. You have more integrity than most executives I've worked with." 4 months after the IPO, I ran into Lauren at a coffee shop. She looked different, thinner, tired, but somehow more genuine. "Jordan," she said quietly. "I wasn't sure if you'd want to talk to me." "I wasn't sure either," I admitted. "I got your letter. The handwritten one." "I didn't respond," I said. "I didn't know what to say." "You didn't need to say anything," Lauren said. "I wasn't asking for a response. Just wanted you to know I finally get it." We stood there awkwardly. "I'm working at a smaller firm now," Lauren said. "Corporate law still, but without the partner track pressure. It's better." "I'm better." "Good," I said. "Congratulations on the IPO," Lauren said. "I read the article. The one about you starting with nothing. I'm sorry I made nothing even harder." "Thank you," I said. We parted ways. No reconciliation. No promises to rebuild our relationship. Just acknowledgement. Maybe someday we'll be sisters again. Maybe someday I'll be ready to forgive completely. But not today. Today I have a company to run. Board meetings to attend. Product launches to oversee. The company Lauren called Phone Games now employs 427 people. Serves 12,000 corporate clients. Generates $640 million in annual revenue. And every time I sign a contract, approve a hire, or launch a new feature, I think about that engagement party. About standing in that ballroom being pitted and dismissed. About Robert Whitmore's face when he realized the truth. About Lauren's expression when her world collapsed. I don't feel victorious. I just feel proven right. And sometimes that's enough.